What's up, folks? Daniel Bach here from JumpScience.com. This is the fourth video in the series on muscle tension. Pardon the delay on this one. But today we're talking about the bilateral deficit. Now, what the heck is the bilateral deficit? We just got to cover some anatomy. We all know that the brain controls the body, but more specifically, we have two halves of the cerebral cortex. In each half is a section called the motor cortex that controls movement. So the motor cortex in the right half of the brain controls the left side of the body. The motor cortex in the left half of the brain controls the right side of the body, generally speaking. However, when we are doing a movement that is focused on one side of the body, we can actually get contribution to that one side from both halves of the brain. Alright? Now that's possible because the two halves of the cerebral cortex are not completely separated. They are connected through the corpus callosum. Okay? So let's say I'm doing, for example, a bicep curl in my right arm. That is going to be largely controlled by the left half of my brain. But because I'm focused on one side of my body, I can actually get contribution from the right half of my brain as well. So I'm going to get then more neural drive, and I'm going to be able to demonstrate more strength in this arm compared to if I'm working both arms at the same time. Now, I put this to the test. I did a 65-pound dumbbell bicep curl in my right arm. I did the same thing in my left arm. I tried to do both arms at the same time and I could not do it. I was not strong enough. Okay, so the bilateral version of this movement is not as strong in each arm compared to the unilateral. That is the bilateral deficit. It's a deficit in strength. Okay, so let's apply that a little bit. Remember, we were talking about muscle tension, the gluteus maximus muscle. And we had narrowed down all these movements and we got to squats and lunges. Those are the two movements with the highest glute tension. Well, now we can compare those two, right? We know that lunges are unilateral. They're focused on that front leg. So because of that, we're going to get more neural drive, more muscle tension, more strength in that one leg compared to a bilateral movement like a squat. Okay, so lunges are the winner. They are the movement that has the highest glute tension. If, and this is a big if all the other factors are the same, right? And they very well may not be. Okay, if you're wobbly and slow in a lunge, you're not going to get more strength and more tension than a hard, fast squat, right? So what it really comes down to is exactly how you execute the movement. That's what's going to determine the amount of muscle tension. Okay, not all lunges are equal, not all squats are equal. Okay, there's a lot of factors. But if everything else is the same, the lunge, because it's unilateral, should have higher muscle tension than a squat. So, what impact does that have on what training you should do? Okay, if unilateral movements have more strength in them, it's very tempting to say, oh, well, I'm going to do one leg at a time or one arm at a time and everything, and I'm going to make each arm and each leg stronger that way, right? No, it doesn't work. Okay, the unilateral strength does not carry over very well to bilateral strength. It also, and this is the important part, does not carry over very well to explosive movements. Okay, in fact, unilateral strength does not even carry over very well to unilateral explosive movements. Okay, so if I want to be a faster sprinter, a better one-leg jumper, bilateral strength is still the way to go. Okay, if I start trying to increase my max pistol squat or my max lunge, it just does not work very well. Okay, bilateral is king. That's the way to go. Now, why is that? Right? I mean, if we can get more strength in each leg, if we do it unilateral, why doesn't it work better? It's a good question. Honestly, I can only speculate on that, and I'm not going to sit here rambling on video. Probably just going to write an article about it. Okay, so hopefully that'll be up soon. In the meantime, I have one more video in this series. Hopefully there won't be a year-long wait for it. So hopefully see you guys again soon. Peace.